What aspect of your swing you want to change the most?
So I've gone down a lot of different roads. I'd like to have, I use a lot of your stuff with teaching because I like the rhythm aspect and, rope and mixing it in. But for me personally, it's like I'll skip into some of what Henry and Milo do. I have my background, I did the whole Tathata program back when it was out. If I went through the list, you'd be like, good Lord. It's kind of like with you, I look at your stuff and I'm like, oh, who's his model? Do you have a specific model?
Currently, I use a Grant Weight.
Right. So I was around Andy Plummer. They use him as well. Back when I was around this guy Rick Martino and Dr. Jim Suddy, they were using Steve Elkington. So I think there's processes there that I've looked at and go, okay, I don't fit into that. And then body issues. But for me, club face, I go back and forth. I know a lot of the guys who are, a lot of this, and I'm like, I get it. I get the idea of what the club face. I think that can happen with the rhythm too. So I'd say club face.
Yep.
A pattern, which is why I came here.
Yep. So your 7-iron just shows a bit larger scatter. So it's a bit surprised because at your level, if you scatter like that, then
So
now
I also, like practice-wise, I'm a little like that. When I play, I get more into what shot I'm hitting versus just
So let's take a look at your current swing here. So start with the down the line view here. So basically, your swing is fairly wrist-driven swing. So you are not using your body that much. So you have this quick wrist cock here, and on the way down, basically using uncocking, try to hit the ball. So you are not really utilizing what you have. So because it's a fairly wrist-driven. It's important to maintain the leg on the way down and then later let it go. However, if you don't use your body, then what happens is you are just relying on the wrist motion here, so wrist muscles. When the body turns faster here at the beginning of the downswing, the body has a lot of angular momentum. And then when you let the club go using an uncocking motion, then the momentum of the body will be transferred to the club, so you can increase the momentum. But here you are mainly using your wrist muscle and then try to hit.
So feel-wise to that, I don't, like when I play my best, I don't feel my hands and arms at all. They're like nothing.
So the flow is reasonable. It's quite comfortable here. But the thing is that you're relying on your wrist too much. So you're not using the body that much. That's what I see here. You are a seasoned golfer, so you know how to play the game.
Seasoned. That's a good one. I am seasoned.
And then now let's go to the rear view here. So currently your body is shifted to the left side a little bit here with the setup posture here. I like a little bit of body motion before you start the backswing, but still, as you go in the back here, your body is staying on the left side too much. So you have to load onto the right side and then push and then start moving back. So slightly shift away and then recenter here, and then have more centered pivot posture in the end. But generally, when you start, you are loading onto the left side here. So up to this point, you're fairly maintaining good amount of force on the left side. So you have to unload the left side quite a bit during the backswing. So again, shift away and then recenter here. This is okay. Then you have a lot of force acting on the right side. But if you start from here and going this way here, you're sharing the weight pretty evenly. So you see this posture, your body is already, your pelvis is shifted this way quite a bit here. So then what happens is, usually when you shift your body early toward the target in the backswing, then pretty much this leg is not doing much. Okay? Then you have to rely on your arms here. But if you shift away and then recenter here, a large force is acting on the trail side here, using this push this way, and then load onto this side, and then throw. You can push the ground with your lead leg well. But if you're pretty much staying on this side here, then it's like when you walk, instead of just having equal amount of weight on both sides here, you're walking like this.
Yeah. I think it's from, again, Mike Adams and other guys where it's like trying to relocate from here to here. Like I love your, one of your pulley ones where it's like this, so I can sense that load, but so often now I don't get my push back forward. And I have a hard time. I feel like I throw to get
During the backswing, what should happen is you slightly shift away and then recenter. This should be completed during the backswing.
Yeah.
And then you are already returning to the initial position during the backswing.
Yeah.
So then in the downswing, you keep moving this way here.
Yeah.
But if you start this early, when we look at the ground direction force, what happens is you have an early push in the backswing.
Yeah.
And then you have more force acting on the leader side here. So you are relying on this side. And then when you repeat this swing again and again, when you have a good use of both sides here, and then good recentering motion, this is more natural, so you can continue this, But if you rely on left side more, then what happens is swing here. Pretty much you're using left side mainly. Then as you repeat this, you can immediately feel that this is not right. So you need to shift this a little bit away and then recenter naturally. And then finally, when you are at the top, this should be generally a well-centered pivot here because you are shifting away and recentering here, but not, the pelvis shouldn't be already on this side here. So that's what I see in the rear view here. And then from here, you're just throwing the club using the wrist here. So instead of a good push using the lead leg and then extend and throw, rather from here, you're shifted this way here and you're just throwing the wrist here and hitting the ball. So then at the end, your leg is showing this awkward posture here. It's not quite pushing the ground that well. Instead of this action here, push and then stand on the lead side versus, it's not doing much here. So one thing we'll do is, as you swing back and forth, just allow your body to move this way a bit more. It doesn't have to be a lot. You don't have to go this far here, but just have the feel of going away from the target and then returning to the initial position during the backswing.
So do you like the whole package going that way?
So the whole body has to shift.
Okay, I think I've done more from down here when I work on it. I leave this over here.
That's okay, because during the backswing, the thorax will show motion more toward the reverse pivot posture. So if this is the forward direction, the thorax axis actually goes a bit more this way during the backswing.
But feel-wise, you can go with the whole package, and that will just kind of
So generally, when you shift the body, the whole upper body should shift, but the head is not moving that much. So essentially, you're mainly using the pelvis here. Okay, so imagine this triangular space here. Your head is not moving that much, but you can still have a bit more pelvis motion and then return here. Then you are in this position, rather than already more on the left side.
Right. So, again, Dr., I think I get into practicing some, and I will exaggerate my feel for that. It's probably never been as much as needed. And then I revert.
So normally, when you just practice the rhythm, it can be almost symmetric both ways. So you go a bit more here. And then the bottom line is in the frontal view, if you look at the direction the force is acting, when you push the ground good with the trail leg, then the force is passing through the hip joint here in the frontal view. In the lateral view, actually, it's different, but because the body is flexed like this, so the force is passing like this. Okay, but in the frontal view, you will see that the force is pretty much passing through the joint here. The same thing, when you push this side here, the force is passing through the joint. So you're pushing the ground down and out. So with that, when you have rhythmic motion, when you practice, then you can have a similar motion both ways, a nice continuous motion. But then in the downswing, the final main swing, because we have bias on this side, so you will shift a bit less in this direction if you have good shift in this direction. But so initially have a more symmetric motion, and then finally, the last one, when you could wind up, then this goes away, but then recenter. So it's fairly centered pivot here. And then you just swing, push the ground with the leader leg, and then stand on the leader side here. So let's just practice a little bit of shift motion here. So keep your arms here in front of your chest. And then as you turn, try to push the ground with the leg. With that, have an active turn here. So it's not slow, sort of motion like this. Rather, by using the leg push and then turn. And then as you do that, let's have small steps here. Say this. K'now, kapow, k'now, kapow, k'now, kapow. The k is a step.
Okay.
And then now give accent to a now and pow. K'now, kapow. So what's happening now is using the leg push, you're promoting the shoulder turn here. So the shoulder turn shouldn't be just using the upper body muscles and then try to turn here. Rather, you have to use the lower body here. So kapow here, k'now, kapow, k'now, kapow. So ultimately, use the leg push to promote it. Yeah. So now one change here is you are turning shoulder more actively now. But in your swing pattern, when you use a wrist cock a lot, so you rely on wrist motion here. Generally, you tend to downplay the shoulder turn. But with the leg action, you are turning more. And then with that, have the image of throwing the club around instead of quickly cocking this. Let it go around your body and then settle here. So now the arms are down here. And then with the leg action, kick and throw. So k'now, kapow, k'now, kapow. So just with this, you're now using your body more. So it's just a matter of having rhythm, the sense of rhythm, and then just implement it in your swing. It doesn't matter how much you shift it that way or how little you shift it that way, but eventually in your swing motion, you have to develop a rhythmic motion here. The rhythm is coming from the leg actions. And then, particularly in the backswing, have the feel of throwing this around here. So the goal is to push this around instead of just to bring it up and then try to pull it down here. Okay, so the purpose of backswing is not just to bring the arms and club here, but you want to have a good quality of backswing motion here because it will dictate what happens in the downswing. So when you tend to use wrist early here, then you also tend to use wrist on the way down. When you use the arms a lot here, then on the way down, you use arms. When you use the body in the backswing, then you tend to use the body. So the backswing sets the ground for the downswing. So again, have a good rhythmic feel here. Again, dance, kick and turn here. K'now, kapow, k'now, kapow, k'now, kapow, k'now, kapow. Now, with this, what's happening is when you really throw this way here, then throw it, you have to wait until this is completed. So you have more time naturally at the top here. So the motion is still active here, but to slow this down, you have to take more time here, right? Yep. But if you just, in your image, if your goal is just to hit this way, then you just go up and then try to put more effort on this side here. So instead of throwing this out, you just bring this up and then pull. But when you have the feel of throwing here, automatically you have more time here. Because you threw it and then try to come this way, they don't work that way, right? So throw and the weight. During the weight, you can introduce this recentering motion here. So that's how we use the time, the transition time. So throw, and toward the end, you have this recentering motion. You position yourself well. And then on the way down, kicking the ground with the lead leg and then throw. So then you have a better lead leg action here. So again, so let's give a rhythmic motion. Key. You are actually a good dancer.
Yeah.
You're responding to the rhythm quite well here. You have the potential to be a good dancer. When people are aware of the rhythm, then they quickly learn this here. So developing rhythm is basically, it depends on how you use your legs. The rhythm is mainly coming from the legs. Okay, so now, this time, so we started with this and then the arms only, but now with this, again, try to throw this and then make a large arc on this side during the backswing instead of quickly just coming here. Again, starting from the left here, ka-now, ka-pow, ka-now. Yeah, and then at the top, let it go a bit more so that you can see the white ball on this side here in the backswing. So at the end, this is light, so you can easily manipulate, but relax your wrist a little bit and then let it go all the way here. So make a smooth motion, continuous motion. Yeah, so you're engaging your body a lot more now. So we have many joints in the body here. So essentially, each joint has a reasonable amount of range of motion. But if you just mainly use the wrist, the range of motion allowed at the wrist joint here, then you're not using these that much. So you have to use the whole body, spread out the range of motion so that, all the body parts are engaged in the rhythmic motion.
So when that's happening, is it more because, again, as you're throwing, when you're kind of patient here, or mature, whatever you like, that's when this takes place? That's where you get a little more setting?
Yeah, so you let it go, and then you have a mature backswing here, because in order to slow this down and finally finish this motion, you need a bit of time here. So the motion is still fast enough by actively throwing using the leg, and then throw, but then at the end, wait until this is completed. In the meantime, you are recentering, so you are ready to go this way, and then boom.
And you're specifically, players who have gotten better, they're feeling specifically because of the throw being more body than arms, is they're feeling it in their wrist just at the end.
So the benefit of this continuous swing is that you can really feel the flow. Yeah. So basically, in mechanical terms, it's a moment of inertia regulation of the whole body and club system here. So in order to have this smooth rotation and fast rotation, then you have to manipulate the overall system moment of inertia. So when you need to turn fast, then you reduce the moment of inertia by keeping the club closer. So on the way down, when you start early acceleration of the body, you want to keep the club close to your body so that you reduce the moment of inertia.
When you say keep the club close to you.
So in the backswing, you make a large arc, and then the club is now here. On the way down, you keep the club close to your body. Don't let it go early.
So keep it like this relationship. This way.
And then turn that way here. And then finally let it go on this side. But when you use the wrist a lot, then what happens is you have early wrist cock here. And generally in the downswing, you also start wrist motion early. That you are letting the club go away from your body. Then the system moment of inertia increases. Then for the same amount of effort, the same torque you generate using the ground, your angular acceleration, rotational acceleration is smaller. That means your body is turning, slowly compared to, the situation where you keep the club close to your body. So the idea is always toward the end of the swing, the rotation, you have a large arc and then bring this close to your body. Then when you start the motion in the opposite direction, keep it closer to your body here, and then make a large arc on this side, let it go all the way, and then when you start the backswing, again, keep it closer to your body here, and then throw on this side here, keep it close to your body, come down here, and then throw on this side, throw on this side, throw on this side.
Yeah, I follow that progression you're showing. I just know from my past, I was wider, and then I would sink in, and then I would go really out.
So just really feel the communication between your body and then the device you're dealing with is, always, it has to follow the mechanical law, okay? So you cannot really go against the mechanical law. And the best way to promote good flow is to swing back and forth, let it go. When you put the minimum effort, but still you can turn your body really well, that means you're working with the device really well here, not going against the mechanical law here. So reduce the amount of effort as much as possible, but still you can generate good speed by abiding by the mechanical law, I guess. So, but anyways, so practice a lot, but this here, by using the leg action. So even in the backswing, in order to throw well, you have to use the leg well. So at the beginning, staying on this side is okay, but then using this, you have to start backswing actively here by moving the body away and then come back to this position instead of.
Yeah, I got into kind of starting this way and then just going back.
So generally, when people cannot shift that way that well, then I intentionally ask them to almost go to this position here. To move the pelvis a lot. This is the only way to counter, the other end, right? But it doesn't have, in the actual swing, it doesn't have to go away too much. So just to go away so that it allows you to use your right leg well, and then with that, you're coming back to the initial position, recentering here. Kick and turn to this position here, and then throw. So it's okay for you to move the pelvis to the away direction a bit more. Okay? Now, to practice that.
You must have fun with some, again, people I've been around. I picture when you're saying that, Mike Bender, I was around him back in the 90s for quite a while. Oh my gosh. Like if you got his students, you must go, oh geez. I mean, because it's so, even Andy Palmer, it's so this way initially. It's so deep. It's like here, it's everything.
So you have into-out swing.
He tries to create that.
So it's when, we didn't have the ground direction force information. So when we didn't pay attention to the corporate ground, the interaction, then you can come up with this kind of a swing model. But when you measure the ground direction force, depending on how you move your body, the ground direction force will change, right? And then, so when you have a sort of spinning motion like this, then the ground direction force stays vertical during the entire backswing. It's passing close to the center of mass, so it does not generate much torque in the frontal plane. So it does not really help your backswing motion. So it all has to come from the muscle action here. But when you use the legs actively here, you are creating this torque here. With that, you can easily start motion more actively. So it's important to use the right leg. You have to create the environment where, or the situation where you can actually use your right leg more actively.
Yeah.
But if you spin like this,
Yeah.
the leg cannot push the ground that much.
Yeah.
And then you're just loading onto this side.
Yeah.
Backswing becomes flat, and on the way down, it's a way into out.
I think sometimes words, like you said, where you've used those words in the past, not you, but the person, like the pushing of the ground. So often, it's like, you know, people would load over here and then push versus the push to already.
Yeah. So
to the center.
push, that brings the body up, and then toward the end of the backswing, you're recentering
Yeah.
here. So
Yeah.
this is important. So the recentering should be introduced during the backswing. So
Yeah.
pretty much when the lead arm is parallel to the ground in the
Yeah.
backswing, so the club is pointing that way, about the 45 degrees here. About here, you're already starting
Yeah.
recentering motion
Yeah.
here. So throw, using this right leg action, push the ground and then keep good throw here. And then once it is done, then you're introducing the recentering motion to settle this and then come this way.
But the push is well done. When
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and that's where.
So now let's swing the rope. This rope is flexible, so you cannot manipulate it with your hand. So the only way you can swing this well is pay attention to motion of the end point here. Your goal is to move this well around your body. Throw the end of the rope around your body both ways. Yep. Yes, yes. But in the downswing, you tend to pull it in. It's because your body is shifting this way quite a bit. Your posture is you are shifting this way a little bit here. And you are shifting this way quite a bit, so you're pulling this in. But rather, push the ground so that do not allow your body to shift too much that way. Push and then throw here. So that bring the rope this way, not this way here. So I'm here. So try to swing the rope in this direction. That's better, yes. Yes, yes, yes. So now you feel the motion of the end of the rope. So this way, you're throwing it. No need to worry about how to settle here because you just throw it, it'll go around your body, right? And all you do is just control the motion of the end of the rope. Again. And then another aspect here is that since you have a bias to this side here, so you're shifting and then turning quite a bit here. So that means your action is a bit too late. So let's imagine that there's a drum here, okay, inclined like this. So on the way down, you are hitting the drum here. Have the image of a drum here, and then you try to hit the drum here, and then continue this motion. Then you will activate the muscle a bit earlier.
I'm using my whole body, just hit the drum with my hand.
So hit the drum and then just continue this motion, finish, instead of dragging it all the way. Still pulling it in. So if there is a drum here, so see the difference here. First, if you put a lot of effort on this side, what happens is turn here and then swing, turn here and swing, turn here and swing. So body turns and then pull it. But if you try to hit the drum here, what happens is you're developing speed early. Okay? So it's not like letting it go away, but you're actually putting effort early. You're activating the muscles early, and then try to hit the drum, and then not on this side. Okay?
Right.
Try
Well,
to
I was
hit
trying.
on that side.
Is my drum too far out? Would that get me going that way instead of having my drum in here?
So try to reach out a bit more,
Reach out.
if that helps. So on the way down, let it go a bit out here. So just try to activate your muscles a bit earlier in the downswing. So still more on this side here. So let's do this. So when you go to this position here, so this is end of the backswing here, let's say. If you maintain good tension here, and then try to throw the rope early on, like this, instead of. So
That's probably why I won the quarter century down in Florida, and I saw you working with one fellow, and you got him back, and he was like, pump.
Yes.
Let it go.
This pumping action.
But I did it for the backswing. Not for the downswing.
Both here.
Yeah, so I was like on the pump, and then once I finished that pump, I let it go. So definitely let it go sooner.
So you have to connect the end of the backswing and then beginning of the downswing well here. Yeah. And then when you maintain that action there, then you have a really good connection. And then your initial condition will be really, really good. But so you have to use the backswing to create this wind up and then take advantage of it in the early part of downswing. Yeah. Okay. So go here, hold the rope, maintain the tension. So using the left hand, hold here. So maintain the tension. And as soon as you start the turning, hit the drum here, using that tension.
Like that.
And then by also turning the body, but yes, like that. So then what happens is you have early action. So you are developing good speed on the way down rather than on this side here. Yeah, judging from your ball flights, oftentimes you pull it this way, and then that's because it's too late.
Yeah.
So again.
To be honest, when I play, I don't miss many left.
So here. So using the wind up and then throw. So this is sort of folding the elbow and then wrist here eventually. So throw and then fold here, and then extend here. So fold and extend, but your target is where the ball is, not on this side. Okay? So in order to activate the muscle a bit earlier, you have the image, for the moment, have the image of a drum on your right side. You try to hit the drum, then you'll have early activation. Yes. So now, using the body, yes. So then both hands, as you swing on the way down, try to activate these muscles a bit earlier. The third swing you pulled in. The first two were better. You try to throw it that way. So your goal is to, if there's a drum here, your goal is to hit the drum, and then continue this motion instead of. Okay, so again, if you really control the motion of the end point here, without moving that actively, you can still produce good speed here. Throw here. So now, in your case, let's try to swing this way here. I'm here on the right side. That's better. So it redirect to your swing plane here. So in your case, have the feel of having the target slightly on the right side here. That's okay. So then you can come a bit flatter on this side here and continue this. Then actually gives a good squared swing plane here. You tend to pull it in a bit too much. But now, so with this, you are using the body more and more. So let's go back to the simulator and hit some balls.